How much time did you spend writing Burns and Song?
Burns and Song was a 2-year journey. So it started off, the web series I talked about, I wanted to do a season 2 of the web series. And so I was developing that. And then I got a script editor friend of mine to look at what I was doing. She was like, you're doing too much. There's just too much going on here. Too many characters. What if you went specific? Like, whose story do you really want to tell? And there was one character in there that I personally resonated with. I was telling myself, yeah, it's about my mother. And I'm like, no, it's about you. And there was this idea of, I think I was in a transition phase in my life about, the dream deferred. There's this Bible verse that says, the dream deferred makes the heart sick. So it's like, when you're not doing the thing that you want to do, it can make us sick, right? Sad, depressed, whatever. And that can be whether it's professional and just in your life. If you're in something, you might have a picture of something that you want, and if you've never pursued it or things have gotten in the way, it can make you sick, and whatever sick means for people. So I had this character who had deferred a dream, and I resonated with that. And I think I was trying to find my way back into being a storyteller, not just a producer, because I felt like a bit of burnout, because I was like supporting other creators, and that comes with a lot. Like, being a producer is other people's energy, you being in the firing line for things, you raising money, you taking the heartbreak, you protecting the crew. And I felt like I had these stories that I wanted to tell. So then with this character, I felt like she was a person that on the outside looks like she's got a perfect life, but she's sick. She's not, and then her life starts crumbling and people don't really understand why. Why is your life a mess when everything is great, when really there's something that she's not exploring? So that process of like getting to the core of her asked me to rewrite. It needed me to actually just blow everything up and start again. And because I had a day job, I was just tinkering. So I'd like work on it a little bit and then leave it. And again, I used to get really frustrated that I couldn't just give it 3 months and just write and finish. But I've actually found my process, I actually do like walking away for a bit, because then I get to live a little bit, let stuff breathe, whatever. And then I come back with some new insight. So yeah, so it was just a bit of like, right, walk away, break it apart, get some notes, walk away, look at the market as well. Like, you asked earlier, the difference between making something meaningful and something sellable. And so I was like, why would anyone care about her? It's a very specific story. I'm like, okay, everybody understands the concept of, burying an aspect of your life. So the more I kind of worked it just became about more and not just about a dream. It became about a past and a secret she's hiding. I'm like, oh, okay, that's another layer, and let's mine that and let's explore that. Oh, genre, maybe let's put some horror elements. Oh yeah, because I could tell the story through. So it was just all of that, like working through it. And then in the day job during the strikes, I had a little bit more time on my hands. So I was able to kind of, I think because over the course of that year and a half at the time, I'd worked stuff out. I was able to actually finish it off very quickly because I think I was internally digesting stuff. So it ended up being a 2-year process in total in the writing side of things.
How did you learn to write a pilot?
I don't know if y'all have heard of the Masterclass series. So, I mean, I've read a bunch of books, and then I did some script writing. In South Africa, the National Film and Video Foundation does these script editing trainings, script writing things. And I think because I was in writers' rooms a lot as a producer, I was seeing how people were breaking story and stuff. And like I said, like I'm a mathematical brain, I'm a process brain. So I was able to break down the process of like building story and the shape of a series and where the series needs to end up, and then working backwards to what you have to set up in episode 1. So I think Burns and Song took as long as it did because I actually had to work out the series to write the pilot, right? To work out what's in the first episode. So I think being in rooms, just playing a different role in the crew, I was observing and seeing, and then I was part of a writing room. I was in a writer's room, and saw that. And then the masterclass series, when I was ready to write my own, I just paid them $10 or whatever it was. And the one I did was the Shonda Rhimes one when she was Scandal. She was teaching how to write a pilot for Scandal. And then I've done a bunch of online tutorials. So I'm always kind of revisiting. Even now, I still revisit and I watch stuff and break down stuff that I'm watching. And a lot of it is just pattern recognition. Now I'm like, okay, I can see what's in it. But yeah, that's how I learned.
Can you take us through the process of how you got the script for Burns and Song produced?
Miss Entrepreneur here. Developed the script. So took some time so I worked backwards. I said, I want to make an independently produced series because in this instance, I want to creatively control it because it's a Zimbabwean story. It's very specific mythology. And I don't want anyone making me dilute certain things. So we talked earlier about like, if you want to do a very personal piece or whatever, show it in an art gallery, right? Or if you want a commercial partner. So I was like, okay, I'm going to choose the art gallery path, and then hopefully a partner will vibe with my art gallery path, where it's like, I want to tell it the way I want to tell it. Also, I have a day job, so I don't know if I've got the time. Like if anyone does want to make it with me, I don't know if I can carve out that level of time and commitment to drop everything else, because my animation career is just starting. So I wanted to still, animation's hard and all of that. So I wanted to just be in it and not step out of it, and then develop a live action series and then come back. This is assuming everything goes well, right? It's assuming a big streamer like Netflix goes, yeah, we want to produce it, we want to commission it. But I didn't want to be at the mercy of a broadcaster or a streamer. I wanted to make this thing because I care about it and I believe in it. So I made that the business decision. So I actually made a business case for it. I was like, this is the budget for the series. This is the series Bible. And I used whatever money I had to just break that out. Because of the specificity of the story and because a story like that isn't out in the world, I was like, I'm going to have to make a pilot to show, you know, even if it's little resources and micro budget, there's ambition here and there's something here. And so I did that. And there was a fund in South Africa, this film grant to create jobs in the film industry. So I applied for that, and it's quite a lot that you have to have a business case. You have to show your accounting for your company and your track record so all the things I was doing to make sure my company was healthy benefited me. I had to have a marketing and distribution plan. I had to, it was like a proper business plan. And then we got the funding, which was about a third of the production budget. And then I had some personal savings. And then I was like, look, we're at about 50% of the budget that I need to make it at micro budget level. I'm just going to have to get crew to like this thing and give me discounted rates. So I was pitching crew members one by one. And I was like, I want to pay you because I value your talent, but I don't have what your rate is. So I was literally went to people. One of the actors, Hakim K. Kazim, who was recently in Godzilla versus Kong, and he wasn't a lead, but he was in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in Hotel Rwanda, like a phenomenal actor. And I was like, I want him to play the villain, but I cannot afford that, man. So I called a casting director person that I know, and he was like, just send him the script, and if he likes it, then have a conversation. And I sent him the script, and he liked it, and I was like, look, this is what I can afford, but we'll fly you over and whatever. So I had to find some ways to add value and to take the inconvenience, as much inconvenience out of the process for people as possible, so that it wouldn't be costly for them to participate in the thing. So yeah, it was just like, make sure you have a really good script, or as good as I can get it. And maybe that's enough to attract talent that might buy into the vision. And so we shot over 5 days. Those were tough because it was raining. So, you know, shoots can be like up to 12 hours long, maybe more. And I think we were getting 8 hours a day because it would rain, pouring rain. Not even like, yeah, we can shoot, pouring thunderstorms rain, as in sound was like, we're not, you know. So my little prep plan didn't exactly go to plan. So I didn't exactly get the specific thing that I wanted, but the preparation helped me get as close to what I wanted as possible. So that's how we ended up making the pilot.
I think you've said previously that one should always plan and put wiggle room in pre-production and production. Mm-hmm. And can you talk about why that is and how it's saved you, or maybe how it hasn't saved you?
Preparation, I've always been a preparation-y person. The people in my life that like don't need to study for exams until the day before, and I'm like, no. My emotions get in the way, like my panic gets in the way. So preparation takes my emotion out because I get muscle memory. right? So with Burns and Song, we did it over the Christmas period, right? So it was in downtime, but I was preparing after hours and breaking script, whatever. So having a shot list, because I think I edit as well, so, and that was a deliberate strategy to learn the whole, like I said, learn a little bit of everything. So I was like, I just understand how to cut. So because I think what's the final thing going to be, I know what I need to shoot. So I reduce the risk of overshooting or wasting and whatever, because I know what's in the cut, right? So I started that way. I was like, okay, what's the edit going to look like? And then how much time, and, again, because I taught myself how to break down scripts, I did my own timings. Then when an AD came on, they supported that. And then when a DP came on, they brought their whatever. So that preparation did save me, because it was like all of us were on the same page in terms of the goal. And then when things changed, people were able to respond quickly and come up with alternatives because we talked about the plan. So making films is expensive, and so as much as you can prepare will save you time and money, I think, and will help you be ready to pivot if things don't go to plan.
Well, sure, and as you said previously, you used some of your own savings and you used a film grant, which was hard to get, and you didn't want to waste the opportunity, so.
Because I used my own savings, I was incentivized to plan, because I was like, I need this money back. So, yeah.